Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Marcelino Verdika. I am from Mechanical Engineering Department, and today I will retell what I have learned from the Kadem Seminar Jury 2021. In the video, there are several points are discussed, and the first point is introduction to judging. Number 2, the debate mechanism of the British parliamentary system. Number 3, differences between Asia and British parliamentary system. Number 4, British parliamentary system judging method. And number 5 is judging tips. But here I will only tell 3 points. The point 1, introduction to judging. Point 2, the debate mechanism of the British parliamentary system. Point 3, differences between Asia and British parliamentary system. Now let's get straight into the first point. But before that, we have to know what a jury is. A jury is a rational member of society, where these people understand general information about global issues that can be accessed through public media, for example, news on the TV, the internet, and etc. The second, jury has an open mind and is able to listen to both sides. Then the last is understanding parliamentary debate. And the most important things is to always focus and pay attention to the progress of the debate. Next are the things the jury must do. So the things that the jury must do are basically based on the first order is making a decision or giving a ranking to the teams that are debating, like who gets the first rank, second rank, third rank, and fourth rank. And after giving the ranking, the jury is required to give a score to all speakers, then prepare the presentation of the judging results, or what is usually known as a verbal adjudication, where if it is an open round or not a silent or closed round, then you are required to provide verbal judging or judging result, especially for the head of the jury in the room. Then finally provide constructive feedback to the debaters who need or ask questions after the round is over. And also there are things that the jury should not do. The first one gives a draw. In parliamentary debates, there are no draws, and those who are awarded a win or a higher position must have a higher total score as well. Then the second is step in. Things that can be called step in or not, being neutral or completing participants' arguments which are not well elaborated. Then using personal knowledge such as statistic or knowledge in a particular field to judge. Finally, having their own expectations regarding the course of the debate. Then lastly, judging without comparisons, which gives victory for a personal reasons, such as expectation for a particular debate or team, and instead does not use comparison. Basic principles of a jury. And first one is bias against a team is prohibited. Pay attention to bias toward race, ethnicity, accent, gender, debating ability, reputation, and other biases. And number 2 is be open-minded. Even if a motion goes against each other's beliefs, the decision must still be based on the contributions and comparisons of both teams. And number 3 is there is no automatic win or losing. Debate is a fair and equal competition. There is no principle that a team will automatically lose. Number 4, it is forbidden to count arguments and assume that more arguments will provide greater benefits to the team, because quality is more important than quantity. And the next point is the British parliamentary debate mechanism. The first is the flow of the British parliamentary debate. For the flow of the first speaker, the opening government will start first, followed by the first speaker of the opening opposition, then the second speaker of the opening government, and the second speaker of the opening opposition, followed by the first speaker of the closing government, and then first speaker of the closing opposition, then the second speaker of the closing government, and finally the second speaker of closing opposition. For the basic rule of British parliamentary debate, number one is consists of four teams: opening government, opening opposition, closing government, and closing opposition. The government team supports the motion, and the opposition teams opposes the motion. Number two, the case building's times is 15 minutes from the time the motion is announced, which is different from the Asia parliamentary system, which usually takes 30 minutes. And number three is the speaking times for the substance is 7 minutes 20 seconds. And once it has passed, whatever is said will not be recorded by the jury. Number four, finally, interruptions are allowed for the first to the 6th minute. The maximum duration of an interruption is 15 seconds. It is important to understand that fellow government or opposition teams are prohibited from interrupting each other. The next point is the differences between the British and Asia parliamentary debate systems. In the Asia parliamentary system, there are two teams competing in one room, the government team and the contra team. Then in Asia parliamentary system, the speaker score range is between 668 to 83. In the previous KDM system, the panel will send its assessment sheet to the head of the jury. Then the head of the jury will collect it via URL personal. Apart from that, the Asia parliamentary system also used a voting system, where each jury who has a voting rights will give their own assessment. Meanwhile, in the British parliamentary system, there are four teams competing in one room: opening government, opening opposition, closing government, and the closing opposition. For the speaker score range between 64 until 91. The head judge for each room will only collect one assessment sheet via a personal URL, where the score is the score that has been agreed upon with the panel. In British parliamentary system, consensus is prioritized. That is, before release, the head of the jury, panel, and also trainees will make initial decision individually, but in the end, the final decision will be agreed together using the consensus method. Just for the record, if the deliberation takes 14 minutes but has not reached a consensus, a vote will be held. I think that's all I can say. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.